I stood there in the pouring rain, clutching a single white rose so tightly the thorns bit into my palm. The whole world felt gray. My big sister, Emily, was gone, just 34 years old. They said it was a heart attack brought on by stress, but I knew better. She had been breaking for months, and no one could tell me why. The priest was still speaking when my phone started vibrating in my black coat pocket. I ignored it at first. Who would call at a time like this? But it kept buzzing, again and again. I finally stepped away from the graveside, walking toward the line of cars, my heels sinking into the wet grass. Unknown number. I answered with a shaky voice. Hello? A man cleared his throat. Is this Sarah, Emily's sister? Yes, who is this? My name is Richard Harlan. I was your sister's boss at Meridian Finance. I'm so sorry for your loss, but you need to see this right now. Before I could say another word, my phone pinged with a message, then another, and another. I opened the first video with trembling fingers. It was Emily's husband, Mark, my brother-in-law, the man who had stood beside me just minutes ago pretending to cry. He was in a hotel room laughing, kissing another woman, someone from their office. The date on the video was only 3 weeks before Emily died. My knees almost gave out. Richard's voice came back on the line, low and heavy. There's more, Sarah. A lot more. I didn't know how to tell you earlier, but your sister was destroyed by him, and I think you deserve the truth. That phone call on the day we buried my sister changed everything. What I discovered in the hours that followed shattered the little piece of my heart I had left. I drove home in silence, the videos still playing on loop in my mind. Mark had been cheating on Emily for almost 2 years, not just one woman, several. But that wasn't even the worst part. Richard sent me everything over the next few hours: bank statements, screenshots, voice recordings. Mark had been slowly draining Emily's savings. He had taken out loans in her name. He told her she was too emotional and imagining things every time she confronted him. He made her believe she was the problem, that her anxiety and sleepless nights were her own fault. Emily came to me so many times, crying in my living room. Sarah, I feel like I'm losing my mind, she would whisper. Mark says I'm overreacting, but something feels wrong. And I told her to trust her husband. I told her marriage is hard. I hugged her and sent her back to that house. The guilt crushed me. Through Richard, I learned Mark had even convinced Emily to change her life insurance policy just 2 months before she died, making him the sole beneficiary. He had been planning to leave her. He had told his mistress he was almost free. On the night Emily died, she had found messages on his phone. She had called Richard in tears at 2 a.m., saying she couldn't take it anymore. The next morning, she was gone. I couldn't breathe. That night, I sat on the floor of my apartment, surrounded by printed evidence, tears streaming down my face. The man who had held my hand at the funeral, who had hugged my mother and accepted everyone's condolences, had killed my sister's spirit long before her heart stopped. I wanted to scream. I wanted to walk into his house and destroy everything. But something inside me shifted. The pain turned into something colder, clearer. I wasn't going to let him get away with it. The next morning, I called my family together. I didn't tell them why, I just asked them to come. Mark was there too, playing the perfect grieving husband, still wearing his black suit. When everyone was seated, I stood up, my voice shaking but strong. I have something to show you. I played the first video on the TV. The room went completely silent except for the sound of Mark's laughter coming from the screen and the sound of his mistress calling him baby. Mark's face turned white. He tried to deny it at first. He called it fake. He said someone was trying to ruin him. But the evidence was overwhelming. Bank records, messages, photos, even a recording of him laughing about how Emily was finally out of the way. My mother slapped him across the face. My father told him to get out of our lives forever. But I wasn't done. I sent everything to Meridian Finance HR department with Richard's help. Mark was fired the same week. The company launched an internal investigation and found he was stealing from clients too. He lost his license. His reputation was destroyed. Then I helped my mother file to contest the life insurance. With the proof of infidelity and financial abuse, the company sided with us. Mark got nothing. The final blow came when I posted an anonymous but detailed story on a local community page. No names, but enough details that everyone in our circle knew exactly who it was about. The messages started pouring in. People who had trusted him, friends who had defended him, they all turned their backs. I watched Mark lose everything he had built on my sister's pain, and for the first time since her death, I slept through the night. 3 months later, I visited Emily's grave alone. The sun was shining this time. I placed fresh flowers down and whispered to her, "I'm so sorry I didn't see it sooner, Em, but he'll never hurt anyone like this again. I made sure of that." Her boss, Richard, later told me that several other women had come forward after Mark's exposure, women who had been afraid to speak up. My sister's story gave them courage. I still miss her every single day. The hole she left will never fully close, but I've learned something important through all this pain. Sometimes justice doesn't come fast or loud. Sometimes it comes through quiet truth, through choosing to stand up when everything inside you wants to fall apart. If you're watching this and you're going through betrayal right now, please hear me. Your pain is real. Your anger is valid, but don't let it destroy you. Turn it into strength. Protect yourself. Protect the people you love. And never be afraid to expose the truth, no matter how ugly it is. Because the people who break us never deserve to live peacefully in the shadows. My sister didn't get justice while she was alive, but I made sure she got it after she was gone. And that finally brought me peace.